We are rolling. We are back. Monsters Living Room. You know what it is. My name is Nate Poole, and I'm joined once again by
Keenan Cooks.
Keenan Cooks. Keenan, welcome back to the living room.
Thank you.
How you living?
I'm living good. Life is good right now. Like, I have no complaints. I feel like I'm entering a new space and it feels really nice, so I'm good.
Yeah, the last couple choreographers, faculty members I've talked to have kind of said that similar thing. Do you think that has to do with it still being early in 2024? Is the new year kind of a reset for you moving in, or is it constantly where?
I don't do New Year, New Me.
Yeah.
I know who I am. No, but I think just coming into my 30s really allowed me to come into myself, be comfortable with myself, accept who I am, and just kind of rock with that. But it also showed me that there are a lot more things in life that are important. Dance is super important to me, my career is important to me, but my relationship is important to me, my family is important to me, my experiences are. So I think I'm kind of just coming into that, and it's actually rolling over into my career, and I love it.
I've heard, again, same sentiment told different ways, but we've gotten a lot of that.
Yeah.
Especially even from some of the younger choreographers. I talked to Dario Boatner as well. And I think as artists, as dancers, we're so career focused, right? Because it's not just a job. It is truly our passion. It's truly our lifeline. But it's so important in any creative endeavor to you can't grip it so tightly.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? You
Exactly.
have to step away and let it breathe. That's incredible, man. So we're here. We're in Boston.
Hometown, baby.
We're in Boston. We're back. Now, how you grew up in Boston, born and raised?
I'm born and raised, grew up in Boston. My great-grandmother had a house in Dorchester. That's where I grew up. My mom now lives 20 minutes away from where we are now. So this is home to me. It feels good. I see familiar faces. So I'm really happy to be here.
So this feels good to you. You come back to Boston and it is a sense of home, a sense of your roots.
It feels home. It feels regular. It's like, Keenan, you ain't nobody.
Right.
Yeah, you regular, and it feels good, and it really reminds me of the process. It reminds me of the struggle, and it just also reminds me of how far I've come.
Right.
So it's nice.
They were like, we canceled that Netflix subscription after you were on it. We were like, dance what? 200? What were we at? That's incredible, man. So it is February. It happens to be Black History Month. I've definitely said it before. I'll say it again. The idea of just taking 30 days, even 28 days out of the year, just to deem Black History Month is kind of absurd. But I do think it's important societally that we've chosen to take the spotlight and really recognize where we've been, where we are, and where we still strive to go.
Yes.
I just want to dive in a little bit to you as a Black creative. Obviously, we're all creatives, but the significance of being an African American and your experiences through your life, how has that informed your art and your creativity?
Just being a Black creator, being a Black man, it's shaped my art and who I am as an artist so much. A lot of my style and what I do is based off of where I came from. It's based off of the groups that I was in. It's based off of the people that I knew. It's based off the community that I came from. And I try a lot not to stray away from that. We have the things that are new and you want to go with the trends, but where I come from, it's you dance for your life. And that's what it's about, because we didn't have anything else. That was our outlet. That was our way to stay out of trouble. So every time I dance, I think about that moment, and I'm dancing for my life. And it's just so important to kind of bring all that struggle and all those good and all those bad and put it in your art, because it makes it yours and it makes it special. So I love being a Black creative.
Absolutely. I know we've talked about your mom was a dancer. Yes. So did you, at any point in time, did you ever question that this was an outcome for you? Did you question that maybe this path leading a truly creative life and career, did you always have the belief in that, or did you ever question kind of that route for yourself?
I hate to bring zodiac signs into this, but I'm a Leo.
Yeah, it's fair. So I'm an Aquarius.
Absolutely always knew that it was going to happen. I didn't know how, but I knew that it was. I tell this story often. When I was 8, I had a brain tumor, and doctors told me that I wasn't going to be able to dance. At 8 years old, I knew that wasn't true. So it was never a question of if it was going to happen. It was just when. I always knew when things weren't happening, when they weren't coming. It's coming. I just need to be ready and prepared for it. Absolutely. As long as you're prepared, when the opportunity comes, you take that thing and you run with it. So it was never a question of if. It was just when, and can you hurry up, please? Because I'm ready.
Yeah, right.
Please.
right. I think it's so powerful. Recently was listening to an interview. She's a professor at Harvard, but she teaches a class on mindfulness, and more specifically just our thoughts and the way we approach things, and our demeanor, and our either glass half full or glass half empty approach. It's showing time and again through studies that like it really has a significant outcome in what happens, you know, and there's the mind-body connection, and it can get a little woo-woo, but I just think it speaks to what you just talked about. Like when you make that decision for yourself, it can't help but like inform how you approach your life.
Absolutely.
Right? Like if you're showing up like this will happen, this is my love, this is my passion, it's going to inform how you take class and the decisions you make. And I think that's it's so beautiful, man. Talk to me a little bit about some of the role models or some of the people you looked up to in the Black community that really were a North Star or like an inspiration to you.
So obviously first, my mother was like such a big inspiration to me. Like I know that she was a dancer, and she didn't get to take it to that next level because little old me came. So I always like have her in the back of my mind when things are happening, when they're not happening. I'm like, I just want to make her proud because she worked so hard and she wanted to make it happen. So it's like, I want to do this for her specifically. And when it comes to like artists and like actual dancers, like my all-time favorite dancer in the whole entire world is somebody I looked up to from when I was younger until now is Clifford McGee. Like, I was always very insecure about my height, but I always knew that I could stand with anybody and like I could dance and I could do the thing, but I was very insecure about it, and I would see this short man dancing down in the front with the tall girls,
taking
with the
space,
artists. He's like a main like character with the artist, a main like leading guy, and I was just so inspired by that because I'm like, we have all these things that we think are gonna deter us from our path, and I'm like, you have to believe it. You have to make people believe it, you know what I'm saying? If I believe it, then you have no other choice but to believe it, because that's how I'm gonna carry myself.
Absolutely.
So literally, I remember like seeing him in Christina Aguilera's Dirty video to Destiny's Child Lose My Breath, and I'm just like that's major, first of all.
I mean, just even you just
like
dropping
just
those tracks,
like that's so major. And then like now as
make them like that anymore.
As an adult, I'm watching TikTok. He was dancing with Jessica Simpson, like everything. So it was like so inspiring for me to see. And just like now as a choreographer, moving into the choreography space, the creative direction space, like Jaquel Knight is like my guy.
Monsters
like,
of Love, man.
I respect him so much. I respect that not only does he, you know, have amazing work, but what he does for the community.
Absolutely.
What he did during the pandemic with his foundation, what he's still doing now, like, that's how I want to give back, because I come from a place where we didn't have a lot of resources. So I think it's so inspiring that he got to the top and is giving back. So.
And that's a tale as old as time too. It doesn't matter the industry, you climb the mountaintop, and I'm sure it is fulfilling, and there's a lot of beautiful things that come with that, but at the end of the day, it's like, it has to, you have to send the elevator back down, you know?
Have to. So I those are the three people, like just in my life and industry-wise, that I really looked up to that have a big effect on me still now to this day.
That's beautiful, that's beautiful. And to close us out, you being who you are, being the force that you are, obviously the notoriety that came with the Netflix show, but even before that, I mean, that's great because it brings more eyeballs and more attention to your craft and your art. But being just a leader and a faculty member here at Monsters, there's undoubtedly people that look to you as that North Star, as that representation. What kind of values do you hope to uphold and to instill in a younger generation that may be looking to you and maybe questioning their journey a little bit?
I pride myself on being a good person, and I think that we get so lost in the sauce in this industry because you feel like you have to please people and maybe everybody else is being nasty, so you have to be nasty, or maybe you have to like use shortcuts to get certain ways. And I just pride myself on being a great person, and I show people that if you're a great person and you treat people well and you work hard, that is good enough. Like, not things are gonna come for you if you do that, but it's good enough to just be a good person. And everything else after that is what it is, you know? I'm so grateful to be successful and to have these accolades and do all these things, but I think what matters the most to me is when people meet me, they're like, whoa, like, you're so nice.
You look them in the eye, you're a genuine person,
Like that is the effect that I want to have, the legacy that I want to have. Yeah, I'm glad you like my steps. Watch the video. It's always going to be there.
Right.
But I want people to walk away and be like, not only was he a great artist, a great black creator, but he's a great person.
Right.
And I think that's really important.
What's the old saying? They're not going to remember what you did, but how you made them feel.
And that's on
You
period.
know? And you keep showing up. Keenan Cooks, it's a pleasure to have
Thank
you, not
you,
only
man.
in the living
Appreciate
room,
you.
but here at Monsters. Keep
Yes.
shining your light, my friend.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Yes, yes.
We out.